Hey guys, it's Tuesday, February 7th, and this is Newswave. So the first thing we're going to talk about very quickly is these reports coming out that Target and GameStop are canceling their pre-orders. Everyone's kind of freaking out a little bit because, of course, if you have a pre-order, you're worried yours is going to be canceled. Well, I can tell you now, based on my time with GameStop, like I said before, we would always take pre-orders more than we actually had allotments. And the reason we did this is because we always seem to get pre-orders canceled no matter what. In this case, though, with the Switch, they should have had a little more foresight, realize people aren't going to cancel their Switch pre-orders right now because everybody wants them. Even if you don't really want the system, surely getting it, you can then resell it for 1.5 to twice as much as what you bought it for. I have no doubt these will start popping up on eBay for $400 easy, $450. So GameStop and Target, yes, they maybe reached a little bit with their pre-order numbers in terms of how many they could take, but that is common practice for retail when pre-orders can get canceled at any time. So don't worry if you have your pre-order, as long as you did it like earlier, not like really recent, your should still be there. You can always call your local store though just to make sure. I don't think you should worry though. Do you guys remember Time Splitters, the game on the PS2, the Xbox, the GameCube? There were a bunch of them. I remember I played Time Splitters all the time on the PS2 when I went over to my friend's house. Well, there's actually a team who is remaking the first few Time Splitter games, and they're going to release it for free. So this game's going to be called Time Splitters Rewind, and the big problem they ran into with their teaser, they put a teaser up on YouTube yesterday. The real problem they ran into is that their teaser trailer showed nothing of the actual game. It was more just a logo with shattered glass floating around. Eventually it comes together and, Time Splitters Rewind. It was originally set to have a little year date of 2018 for coming out. However, they then edited it and changed it to 2017 just to probably get us more excited for it. So this video has garnered just a ton of downvotes, dislikes. However, guys, the game's going to be free. It's not like they're going to be charging money. It says it right in there about, if you would go in and read about it, it's going to be free. So you shouldn't dislike it until you actually get some kind of footage for it. I understand you were frustrated or annoyed with the trailer, but I would give it some time. It's going to be sometime this year we'll see it. I'm sure gameplay footage will come out eventually, but if you are a fan of Time Splitters, keep an eye out for it. I don't know what system it's going to be on. I assume it's just going to be PC, but again, if you want to go over there, you can. It's Time Splitters Rewind official trailer. I'll put a link down in the description below if you want to check that out. And after years and years of waiting, Breath of the Wild has finally gone gold. And that means that there is nothing else to change. It's ready to be shipped, and there will be no more delays on this game. Not that we thought it was going to be delayed anyway, because it is very critical to the Nintendo Switch's launch, because that's the only real big game that's going to be there, the big blockbuster game that everyone's going to get the Switch for. But it's good to know that it is now in writing, it's gold, it's coming out, you don't have to worry about it, and it will be there right along with the Switch on March 3rd. Okay, this next bit of news is pretty funny. So remember how we've talked about Denuvo? I'm sorry, I have a hard time pronouncing that. Denuvo? We just talked about that security hacking for the Resident Evil 7, how all of a sudden all these people come together, they're able to hack this usually thought to be unhackable DRM unit, and all of a sudden now it's hacked in 5 days for Resident Evil 7. Well, they can't seem to catch a break, or they're very bad at security, which is extremely ironic because all of their emails, not all of them, most of them, have leaked online. And what happened is on their website, they seem to just leave a back door open for no reason. Somebody forgot to lock the back door essentially, and all of these emails are there for people to read. It's just ones that were sent to them in their contact forms, and there were a few sent to them, of course, from people who were disgruntled, and then a couple from places like Capcom and Google. Now, the typical emails, of course, from disgruntled customers were more along the lines of, hey, I don't like your DRM, stop doing it. But then we get ones from Capcom asking to use it for Resident Evil 7, which it's controversial if they got their money's worth for that, because it was protected for 5 days, which included the launch date, which is very critical. But of course, 5 days later, people are just able to download it. Now, the one for Google is a little more interesting because they talk about in an email how they want to use it for something like an application, not necessarily a game. What they were going to use it for, we don't know. We probably won't know until they actually use it, because these emails were supposed to be confidential between two companies. But it's interesting to think that this DRM system could be used for stuff other than games. And if you missed my video from yesterday, we talked about the Nintendo Switch temperatures, specifically ones that were taken with a thermal cell phone camera setting at the actual Switch event. Now, temperatures themselves were very good. They were all under 100 degrees Fahrenheit, even at max load. And that was all done in handheld mode. It's interesting to note that because, of course, when it's in the dock, it will speed up, probably cause more heat as well. However, we won't be touching it, so it won't matter. But the temperatures were good. They don't seem to transfer to the Joy-Con, so you should have a very comfortable experience when in handheld mode all the time, pretty much. sticking with the Switch, leading up to the event for the Switch, showing it off to the public, an actual YouTuber by the name of Jihad actually had a Q&A on Reddit asking people to, hey, give me some things to ask the Nintendo employees there, and I'll ask them. So he did all of that. He got a bunch of questions out of the way, and then while he was playing Breath of the Wild, he noticed that there was an interesting option in the menu that you go through when you want to pick normal difficulty or you want to turn on subtitles. Well, at the bottom, he noticed that there was a Pro setting for the hub. So when the Nintendo employee wasn't looking, he managed to turn this Pro mode on for the HUD, and what that does is it hides pretty much everything around you for the HUD, except for your life bar at the top, which is still shown, of course, all those hearts. Now, he only had a few minutes with it, so it's hard to say exactly what else that may hide, but that's definitely going to be for more of like a more difficult run through. If you want to say, hey, we're going to do a full, pro mode run through in X amount of time, if you want to be a speedrunner about it, and that just adds to the difficulty to make it a little harder probably to play through a game like Zelda Breath of the Wild. And today, Neo has come out, which is a big action adventure style game with RPG elements coming from Koei Tecmo, and this has actually garnered a ton of good reviews from different publishers. IGN, of course, is one of the bigger ones. They actually gave it a 9.6, claiming that it's an epic, unforgettable adventure carried by a fierce combat system that cleverly balances style and strategy. So if you're looking forward to maybe a new game for the PS4 to kind of bridge the gap between now and Horizon Zero Dawn, or now and Mass Effect, and you kind of like those action-adventure RPG style games, Neo seems to be the one to get. And if you're looking forward to Psychonauts 2, you should be very happy to know that they actually signed a publishing deal, so they will have no problem actually distributing the game to other systems. Publishing can be very expensive. Most of the time, developers will try to sign with a company that has experience in it or the resources to do it. And in this case, they actually signed with Starbreeze. Now, Starbreeze is well known for something like, think of like Payday 2, for example. That was done by Starbreeze. So this pretty much means all the logistics are figured out for Psychonauts 2, so that is on the way. I loved the first one. It was great. It was an awesome adventure game, platformer. It was awesome. If you have not played it, I would recommend going and getting it. It's never expensive on Steam. It's always under $5, and that game is great for $5. So if you have not played it, I would go get it, try it out. It's a fun game, use controller support, and then you have Psychonauts 2 to look forward to, so I'm very happy it got picked up, and it's on the way. This next bit of news is actually really cool. It's about a creative team making an entire Pokemon game in Minecraft. Now, this project has been going on since 2014. They've done alphas, betas, and finally they have a first release they're comfortable with putting out to the public, and this is, of course, for Pokemon Amethyst and Pokemon Cobalt, released in the Minecraft universe. And this whole thing is free. You can go download it. You can put it right on. They said you do need an unmodded version of Minecraft, probably just to make sure all the files inject correctly. But you can actually try this out for free. You just load it up in Minecraft, and you actually play through a full Pokemon game. It has like 100 Pokemon in it. It has gyms, battles, everything. And it's all done in the Minecraft like 8-bit look, and it's just such a cool project to do. It took them a long time. I would go try it out. Definitely see what you think. They have a full YouTube page. I'll go ahead and link that below with this trailer you're seeing now, and really go try it out. It's awesome looking. And the big news, at least for me, guys, I know this is more video game stuff, but Samurai Jack is coming back. And he is coming back with a vengeance. So we'll get the first episode March 11th. This is going to air 11 o'clock at night on Adult Swim. Now, if you don't know Samurai Jack, you need to go familiarize yourself right now, because that was such a good, and I really mean this genuinely, a good cartoon. It was, I think, ahead of its time. It looked great. It was very artistic. They even did so much as to go far enough for, like, it's the same person who made like Powerpuff Girls, to take the black outline off of the characters and just look super artsy. It had awesome tone, and I always thought at the time that it kind of suffered from not being able to be violent enough, and trust me, this new one, they just hit it with a TV 14 violence rating instantly. For a cartoon, that's a big deal, because to be a cartoon on Adult Swim with that kind of rating for something, you know it's going to be violent, and they did not disappoint with this trailer. It is straight up like how Samurai Jack, I think, should have been. I'm looking forward to it. It's not far away either. It's like a month or so. It's going to be like a month and a half from now, and man, am I excited. It's see, this is my childhood kind of putting out. I know it was only, 2002 when Samurai Jack was out. Okay, and it was such a good show. It's won awards, and just check it out. If you have never seen Samurai Jack, maybe you're a little younger in 2002 and never saw it, Go check out trailers. I'm sure it's all over Hulu or Netflix. Go watch it and see what you think, and then you have a month to look forward to the new one. And that's it for Newswave today, guys. Let me know what you think about any of these topics that we talked about, whether it's you're finally excited that Breath of the Wild is absolutely gone gold and it is coming out. Maybe you're more excited for Psychonauts 2, or maybe you got Neo today. Also, let me know what you think of Samurai Jack, because it looks great, or maybe you were a fan back in the day, or maybe you're just learning about it now. Either way, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you next time.